Hello and welcome back to Bike Ride Reviews. I'm your host Scott, here with an exciting review of the AGO X electric urban hybrid from Tenways. Tenways describes the AGO X as a plow horse for the weekdays and a wild beast for weekends. In their words, its sturdy body is ideal for handling your everyday load, while its all-terrain setup is capable of conquering some steep slopes. So does the AGO X and its latest mid-drive Bafang motor provide a winning combination of performance, utility, and fun? We're about to find out. In today's review, I'm going to look at this bike's specifications, find out how it rides, and measure how it performs in areas like acceleration, hill climbing, range, and braking. And after the dust has settled, I'll wrap it up with my final word on the value and performance provided by the Tenways AGO X. So let's get pedaling. Tenways says its goal is to make daily commutes effortless, speedy, eco-friendly, and fun. It's probably no coincidence that Tenways is based in the Netherlands, which is home to more bicycles than people. Tenways launched its first model, the AGO 600, in 2021. Since then, it's added a range of electric city bikes and hybrids, a smart city bike, and 2 cargo bikes. You can click the card above my head to see my review of the AGO 600 Pro. BikeRide.com has also reviewed the AGO T and the AGO 800S. I've popped links to all of these in the description below the video. Tenways calls the AGO X a real all-rounder for daily errands and off-road leisure rides. As a Class 1 e-bike, there's no throttle, and assistance is limited to 20 miles per hour. It has a 250-watt mid-drive Bafang motor with 80 Nm of torque, and a 504 watt-hour battery. Add a Shimano Dior 10-speed drivetrain, 29 by 2.25-inch CST tires, and the Sun Tour suspension fork, and this thing looks set to be fun. Tenways says the motor is optimized for fast acceleration, carrying heavy loads, and climbing steep slopes. It also claims that AGO X offers the same performance as bikes that cost twice as much. So does the AGO X deliver? Let's find out. The AGO X is responsive and pleasant to ride on both pavement and light trails. The 29-inch wheels and 2.25-inch tires were able to cover ground quickly, while providing a great mix of responsive steering, stability, and extra cushion, all without the negative attributes that wider tires bring. The torque sensor and mid-drive motor provided a natural ride feel that avid cyclists will surely enjoy. The bike feels like it was designed by cyclists because its geometry, components, and riding style are intuitive, and I enjoyed the athletic riding position. The mid-drive motor is quiet and doesn't detract from the cycling experience, unlike louder, more aggressive hub motors. Plus, the AGO X is offered in 3 frame styles, avoiding the one-size-fits-all approach which is found with so many e-bikes. I'm riding the XL size and found a fine fit for my 6-foot frame, with plenty of room left for taller riders. The bike's stylish appearance turns heads on the road. While I was testing it, several passers-by complimented the design. The sleek paint and clean welds, combined with a pleasing frame design, immediately inspire a feeling of quality. The finish features a stunning fade from silver up top to a darker tone lower on the frame. The motor and battery are integrated nicely into the frame. At the front of the bike, there's an integrated headlight, and at the back, an unobtrusive integrated taillight is mounted on a stylish rear rack, which is fixed to the seat stays in a visually appealing manner. This bike's 10-speed Shimano Dior drivetrain provides a much better gearing range than the typical 7-speed. The Dior trigger shifter has a pleasant, crisp operation, and it was easy to tune the shifting while I was setting this bike up. The bike's gearing matches its 20 mph top speed and offers plenty of options for climbing hills and maintaining a good pedal cadence. The wide range of gears is ideal for getting the most out of this motor, and the gearing range is also wide enough to pedal the bike over level ground without motor assistance. I was even able to tackle small climbs relatively easily without motor power, which is definitely impressive, considering this bike's 61-pound weight. The display and 3-button control pad are streamlined and unobtrusive, but offer plenty of information in an easy-to-access format. The advanced menu is easy to use, with clear item names and descriptions. You won't need a manual to understand what you're tweaking, and you can access the advanced menu from the bike's main display without needing the app. The AGO X also has a 4-digit PIN code to prevent unauthorized use, and you can use the app to upload navigation directions via Bluetooth to the onboard display for easy navigation. I love this feature, as it lets you keep your phone in your pocket and guides you to your destination in a non-distracting manner. The included estimated range on the display is a nice feature, but in my testing it was so inaccurate that it was of little use. Worse still, it overestimated the range. During the Pedal Assist 5 range test, with the battery charge at 75%, the display said the bike could travel another 28 miles. But in the end, it managed only 18.5 miles. The total range reached during the test was 28 miles, so the estimate was off by a huge margin. When battery charge was high, the display gave a hopelessly ambitious range. And even though it improved as battery charge fell, it would be much more useful to have a more realistic idea of range, especially when you're first headed out. Tenways says that the AGO X and its Bafang M410 mid-drive motor are tailor-made for steep slopes and heavy loads. With a 250-watt mid-drive motor and 80 Nm of torque, I expected it to trounce other e-bikes with similar specs, but less torque. While it did outperform the Fido Air and the Velotric T1 ST Plus on both hill climbs, I was surprised when Tenways' own SAGO 600 Pro, with its 350-watt and 40 Nm rear hub motor and single-speed drivetrain, easily conquered both the small and medium elevation hill climbs, between 15 to 20 seconds faster. The Utopia Carbon 1, with its 250-watt, 35 Nm rear hub motor and single-speed drivetrain as well, matched the Tenways AGO X on the medium elevation and beat it over the small elevation hill climb by a few seconds. Mid-drive motors with higher torque outputs should outperform rear hub motors on hill climbs. However, single-speed bikes with less torque matched or beat the AGO X, with its greater torque and 10-speed drivetrain. I was disappointed by this performance. I should mention that the Tenways performance is far from the worst that we've recorded. It managed to shave a full minute off the times of our worst performing test bikes on both of the climbs. So it's not incapable of climbing 12-degree slopes in a reasonable time. It just takes some extra effort. The AGO X comes with CST tires that are great for regular urban use, but the tread pattern lacks the grip needed to enjoy confidence on gravel. If you're going to spend most of your time on paved surfaces, these tires are great. But anyone hoping to exploit Tenways' much vaunted all-terrain setup on gravel or loose dirt will probably want to upgrade to tires with a beefier tread. Neither the AGO X nor the battery are UL certified, although they do meet other safety standards, including EN 15194 and CE marking. EN 15194 is a similar European standard for e-bikes sold in the region, and it provides some peace of mind despite the lack of UL compliance. Tenways hope to have the bike and battery certified for UL 2271 and UL 2849 by the end of 2024, but as of this review, that testing hasn't been completed. The US website doesn't mention UL compliance with EN standards, or IPX ratings for the bike. However, the brand representatives were quick to provide clarification to my questions. The EN 15194 compliance increases my trust in the company and indicates that the bike should meet UL 2849 without issue. But regardless, at the time of this review, I cannot confirm its UL compliance. Tenways markets the AGO X as an SUV-style e-bike, or urban all-rounder, primed for daily errands, commuting, or weekend adventures on light trails. So it needs to be rugged and capable of carrying plenty of cargo, while being relatively light, balanced, and offering enough motor and handling performance to be fun and capable off paved routes. Let's have a look at how Tenways has designed and spec'd the AGO X in a bid to fulfill this brief. The AGO X has a stylish aluminum frame, which comes in 3 sizes for riders from 5'3" to 6'5", according to Tenways. I'm testing the XL frame, which is supposed to fit riders from 5'11" to 6'5". This bike appears to be well made, with an excellent finish and a nice clean appearance, thanks in part to internal cable routing. Now, of course, hiding the cables inside the frame can make servicing the bike more difficult, but it does protect the cables and enhance the bike's looks. Up front, there's a 110mm Sun Tour suspension fork with preload adjustment and a lockout. In the middle of the frame, we find the Bafang M410 mid-drive motor, rated for a nominal 250 watts of power and 80 Nm of torque. That motor output is modulated by a torque sensor that's integrated in the motor. The bike operates at 36 volts with a removable 14 amp hour or 504 watt-hour battery, which is paint matched to the frame and sits inside the bottom of the down tube, with a key-operated lock keeping it secure. As a Class 1 e-bike, the AGO X is pedal assist only, with no throttle. Motor assistance is limited to 20 miles per hour, and there's no option to adjust the speed limit. The whole bike is water resistant to at least IPX4 level. The motor and display are IP65 water resistant, and the battery is IPX6 rated, so the bike should be just fine on rainy days. The AGO X has 29-inch spoked aluminum rims, which wear 2.25-inch CST tires. The tires have a light city-style tread pattern and feature puncture protection. Quick-release axles at both ends make removing the wheels a simple, tool-free process. The Shimano Dior 10-speed drivetrain has a 38-tooth chainring and a single-sided guard at the pedals, as well as an 11 to 46-tooth cassette at the back. This combination provides a wide gearing range of 100% to 430%, and is an impressive step up from the 7-speed setups that I see so often. Stopping power is provided by Tektro HD M275N hydraulic brakes, with a 180mm rotor up front and a 160mm rotor at the back, but there's no motor cutoff, so e-bike newbies must remember to stop pedaling when they brake. The 760mm wide riser bars have a slight back sweep and are fitted with lock-on grips. There's a streamlined 3-button control pad next to the left grip and a 2-inch TFT LCD mounted in landscape format, just to the left of the stem. Next to the right grip, we find a Dior trigger shifter, which has an indicator showing which gear you're in. The other touch points are a Cell Royal Azenza Plus saddle and a pair of plastic platform pedals. At the time of writing, aluminum mudguards, a kickstand, and a rear cargo rack are included for free if you subscribe to the Tenways newsletter. These accessories have a claimed value of $307 US and may not always be included for free. Without these accessories, the bike's utility is drastically reduced. The AGO X is the first 250-watt mid-drive bike that I've reviewed, so I don't have any directly comparable test results. Therefore, the competitors I've listed have a mix of single-speed and geared drivetrains, with 250-watt and 350-watt motors. The AGO X is heavier than these bikes, but it has much more torque, which should level the playing field. Our small elevation hill climb was completed in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, at an average speed of 17.4 miles per hour. On our small elevation hill test, the AGO X landed firmly in the middle of the pack, alongside the Utopia Carbon 1. The AGO X's time of 3 minutes and 20 seconds is far ahead of the Fido Air and Velotric T1 ST Plus, but it lags behind Tenways' own Seago 600 Pro by 14 seconds. The medium elevation hill climb produced similar results. The AGO X easily outperformed the Fido Air and T1 ST Plus by 40 to 60 seconds. Its ability to climb the hill a full minute ahead of the T1 ST Plus impressed me, but I was surprised by how hard I had to pedal, given the motor's 80 Nm of torque. I found climbing the 12-degree slope far from effortless. And up this hill, the Urtopia Carbon 1 beat the AGO X by 4 seconds. And the Seago 600 Pro was 22 seconds faster. In the pedal assist acceleration test, all of the test bikes hit 20 miles per hour in about 7.5 to 8 seconds. And the AGO X took 8 seconds. Since it has no throttle, acceleration wasn't tested. I've compared the range test results for the AGO X with two groups of bikes this time. The bikes in the first group are the same bikes that I compared in the other tests, and have motors of similar output to the AGO X, but much smaller batteries. The second batch have similar sized batteries, but bigger motors. When compared to the bikes with similarly powered motors, but smaller batteries, the AGO X soars past the short ranges of the Fido Air and the T1 ST Plus, which have significantly smaller batteries. Tenways' own Seago 600 Pro came within a mile of matching the AGO X, and surprisingly, Urtopia's Carbon 1 managed to go 2.4 miles further, despite its battery being 4 amp-hours smaller. Compared to bikes with similar sized batteries, the AGO X is the clear winner, with a range of 28.78 miles and 1,098 feet of elevation. The AGO X can hit 20 miles per hour in Pedal Assist 3, which makes the Pedal Assist 3 range test feel similar to the Pedal Assist 5 test. The most notable difference was when climbing hills, where the motor provided noticeably less power than in Pedal Assist 5. This lower assist level increased the range by approximately 22%. The AGO X performs well compared to the Group 1 bikes. The only bike to come close was the Seago 600 Pro, which managed 32.36 miles. It's followed by the T1 ST Plus at 30.63 miles. When compared to bikes with similar battery capacities, the AGO X is in the same ballpark, with both the Velotric F1 and Fido C11 achieving 35 miles. The AGO X provides good range overall. If the range estimate given by its display were more accurate, it would be a fine companion. The saving grace for the range estimate is the consistent battery decline, and the useful battery meter, which shows remaining battery as a percentage, and it proved accurate and reliable during the range tests. The AGO X's 20-foot stopping distance is fine for safety, and it sits in the middle of our test results. The Fido Air and T1 ST managed 18 feet, and the Urtopia required 21 feet. The worst performer was the Seago 600 Pro, which needed an extra 6 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour. The AGO X is comfortable to ride in urban environments and has a very natural ride feel that isn't upset by its mid-drive system, unlike my experience with rear hub motors. The bike lives up to Tenways' claims of a robust, intuitive bike that's easy to ride on pavement and light trails. The 110mm suspension fork does a good job of soaking up light impacts, and I enjoyed riding the bike throughout testing, regardless of the terrain. The frame feels strong, and I experienced no flex or speed shimmy during my tests. The 3 frame sizes seem to offer a good range of rider fit. The XL frame I tested fit me well at 6 feet tall, but it did feel big. I had lots of room on the seat post and in the cockpit, so I can see it fitting taller riders well. I felt I was at the low end of the sizing for the frame, which is in line with the minimum height of 5'11" for the XL. The large frame would also probably have been a good match for me. The mid-drive motor and 10-speed Dior drivetrain made this bike a joy to ride. For me, the gearing range was a perfect match for the pedal assistance. Shifting was crisp, as long as I remembered to reduce my pedal effort to take pressure off the drivetrain. I do think that a shift sensor would be a worthy upgrade from Tenways, as it would enhance shifting and reduce the risk of a broken chain. The motor and torque sensor are responsive, and for general riding I found it intuitive and natural overall. but I was surprised at how hard I had to pedal when climbing steeper hills, given the motor's high torque rating. Battery voltage fell in a steady, consistent manner while out riding, with no sudden dips or fluctuations. Battery charge is displayed as a percentage, and I found this to be accurate and reliable. I greatly prefer a percentage readout like this to the usual 5 or 10 bar graphic. Assistance varies usefully across the 5 pedal assist levels, with the bike easily reaching the 20 mph limit in levels 3, 4, and 5. As is typical of this type of mid-drive setup, acceleration and speed are controlled mostly by pedal cadence and effort. The mid-drive motor was responsive and quick to accelerate or climb mild to moderate slopes. The bike is also very quiet, the most noticeable noise being a slight rattle from the aluminum mudguards. The motor is nearly silent, and it does not detract from the ride experience. The tires have a smooth, city-style tread pattern, which I found to be fast-rolling and pleasant on pavement. In tighter turns on gravel, I experienced some loss of grip, especially at the front, so you'd probably want to fit tires with a more aggressive tread if you plan to ride this mostly on gravel trails. To remove the battery, you first insert the key into the lock, which is near the top of the down tube, on the non-drive side. Turn the key to the unlock position, and then the battery pops out slightly. You can now remove the key, as it's not required to install the battery. Next, reach under the down tube, locate the lever on the battery, and rotate it to release the battery, which drops fully out of the frame. Reinstalling the battery is very simple. Insert the bottom of the battery to line it up with the battery contacts, and next push the top of the battery into the frame until it clicks into place. The Tenways AGO X has a simple control pad with just 3 buttons: power, plus, and minus. The 2-inch TFT LCD, which sits next to the stem and slightly below the handlebar, is discreet, but it's also easy to see. It has a USB-C port for powering a device like a phone. The high contrast display is easy to see in sunlight, and it provides all the info you need at a glance. Additional information such as the odometer, trip time, and other trackers, as well as the range estimate, are available on 2 additional info pages, which you can toggle between. The AGO X user manual is available online, and it includes detailed, accurate information on all the functions, including the advanced controls, so I won't cover that here in depth. I enjoyed how easy it was to see and use the display, including the advanced menu, which is accessed by holding the plus and minus buttons down together for 3 seconds. This advanced menu has clear item names and descriptions, so you can dive in and make adjustments without referencing the user manual. When the unit is powered on, you can choose to use a 4-digit PIN code to protect the bike from unauthorized use. I was pleasantly surprised with the Tenways app and user interface. It's easy to connect to the bike. You just scan the QR code located on the down tube just above the bottom bracket. The bike then connects via Bluetooth, offering several functions. The most notable features are GPS tracking, route planning, and navigation guidance. All of these are provided in the Tenways app, without needing a third-party service like Google or Apple Maps. Directions are provided via the app or on the bike's display. The display shows the distance to your next turn, and it prompts you to your destination. I loved this feature because you can set it and then tuck your phone away in your pocket while the display guides you to your destination. The app also provides some basic information about the bike, including battery level and range estimate. After verifying your identity with your email and one-time code, you can also view and change the PIN code. The app also allows you to track your rides, receive achievements, and access customer support to troubleshoot any issues with your Tenways bike. Other than setting the PIN code, the app does not offer any other advanced settings, as these are all adjusted via the bike display. So you won't need to install the app to enjoy all of the bike's functionality and advanced controls. The only thing that you'll miss out on without the app is the navigation function and ride tracking as well as achievements. The Tenways AGO X is a fun and intuitive bike to ride. It easily lives up to the majority of Tenways' claims about its abilities and build quality. The bike's only shortcoming was its surprising lack of ability to climb steep inclines, where I felt that the 80 Nm mid-drive motor could have provided a bit more pep. Still, with results firmly in the middle of our test bikes, the AGO X is far from a slowpoke. I would happily recommend this bike to many riders, especially those looking for a natural feeling ride quality and who want to transition easily from weekday commutes to weekend fun. The bike is wonderful to ride over pavement and light trails, and it has a sense of quality that I hope will ensure years of fun on two wheels. If the AGO X gets its UL certifications, and Tenways fixes the range estimate function with a software update, there's going to be really little to complain about with this awesome bike. This would make an excellent choice for urban commuters and weekend thrill seekers alike. Do you own a Tenways AGO X, or is it on your wish list? Let me know in the comments how my review lives up to your expectations and experience. Or post anything else that you want to share with the Bike Ride team. I appreciate everyone who watches and comments on the videos, and I try to respond to as many of you as possible. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another new bike. Plus, if you're hungry for more, don't forget to check out bikeride.com for the best bike and gear reviews, awesome cycling events in your area, our ever useful repair guides, and the popular interactive forums. There's always something new, so I hope to see you online and back in the studio for our next bike review. Thanks for watching.